This is the third training video that concentrates on the innate assignments table. And we've moved on now from the previous views where we created, or the previous videos where we created a new project and then looked from a project manager's perspective at how we could layer that on top of the existing workload to do a skills capacity check. We're now going to take a viewpoint from that of the resource manager role. Anne Brown is responsible for the analysts, and when she logs on, one of the first things we can show her is the outstanding requests for resource. And if you look here at the current list, here's our new 3 project that we've been playing around with up till now, and that included some work for analysts, and as the resource manager for analysts, she's received this request. So she can click on the link here, and that will open up an assignments table view that shows just the request for analyst on the new 3 project for the task design. And you can see we've changed the structure here to show resources and by projects, just a single row in this case, and the assignment status is requested. So here's the profile of work that's coming in, showing in days. And now to deal with this request, Anne can go to the row, right-click the mouse button, and click Replace Resource. And that will bring up a display that enables her to search for people who are appropriately qualified and who are available, and then to decide who she wants to propose to work on this assignment. At the moment, the default settings at the top here are saying we're requesting a role and we're saying we must have analyst. But there are some other search fields here that she could apply. So it could be, I want to know by certain those available analysts by certain location, maybe a certain grade or a level, or they need to speak certain languages. So she can put in and define the search criteria, and those will be reflected in this list below. Our data is quite simple here. We just want to see which analysts are available. She has a team of 4 analysts, Chris, Pat, Larry and Nat. Larry and Nat are busy on other assignments. She could click on this link here to see what the assignments are that Larry and Nat are working on that mean they're not available. There are also other people who have primary roles that are not analysts, but have some skills, some analyst skills, and if neither Chris nor Pat were available, she could see which of these might be. However, it's quite simple in this case. She can choose between Chris and Pat. If she says Chris it is, we'll select him, and we'll save that. Often, if the screen doesn't automatically refresh, just click the refresh screen here, and we can see that what has happened here is that, yes, the resource has changed from what was analyst to Chris. It may be a good idea just to change this view here to insert the role column. And there's a reminder that we were searching for analyst, and Chris it is that we now have. Okay. The assignment status field is a way here that if needs be, you can track each individual resource request through a process of the project manager initially requesting it. It may now be that Anne is going to propose that Chris is the person that's used here, and that will then appear on the home page of the project manager, who can either confirm that or reject it. In this case, we'll leave it as proposed and save that. So this is now showing that Anne has received a request and dealt with it. If we go back to the home page, we can see that on her list of outstanding requests, the request for new 3 is no longer there because it's been dealt with. Now, I want to show you one other view here. We're going back to our Manage Assignments view. We're going to look at her resources across all projects. And now we're looking at this in assignments table 2 here. We've got a different structure. We've got a resource, project and role structure. And previously we were looking at this by project or by program and by project. If we click up here, here's a list of what's going on across her team. The analyst here shows the outstanding requests that still have to be dealt with, and we saw these on her home page. There were requests from the Draft Plan Mexico and U2. If we look at the others, Chris King here, we can see on the loading here there's a red cross, and that says that at some part of Chris's workload there are some conflicts. We can see here that Chris has been assigned to work on a number of projects, number of tasks on the number of projects. In this case, if we click down on project A, we can see his design documentation and circulate draft. But on project B, we can see there's a red cross here which shows there's going to be a conflict. Now in the time view that we've selected here, we can't see any of those. But if we do a right-hand click on that row and say, just show me the assignments that are contributing to this two overloads. And here we can see the cause of that red cross. We've got Chris assigned to work full-time, in terms of number of, this is in days, for 1 day doing some design review and then 2.5 days the next week on project B on test. But at the same time, he's also assigned to work on project C writing documentation, and this is where the conflict has arisen. He's got 5 days of work assigned there and 4.5 on the following week, February the 1st. So things go red. We show the bottleneck, the -1 and the -2 shows the extent of the conflict. And this will enable Anne to decide, well, either that this is a conflict that needs to be resolved by maybe reassigning some work away from Chris to other people, or she may indeed decide that, well, Chris can just manage this. He'll have to do a bit of overtime and work around it. So this is the way in which the assignments table, or an assignments table set up in a slightly different way, can help not only the project managers in their roles, but also the resource managers as well. Now these 3 videos really have served as an introduction to how the assignment tables can be configured within Innate for the different roles in your organization. If you need to know more information than this, then please do contact your account manager or drop an email through to our support folks and we'll be able to help you. Thank you.